Well, it's been several weeks since we went out to the other coast of the United States, out to Hollywood, California for Michael Snyder, and take a look at some of the movies which aren't playing in theaters, but they maybe are playing on a TV set near you. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Alex, and hey, everybody. I hope your summer is going as well as can be expected, considering the circumstances. But we do have a few things to run through since it's been a bit of time, and let's kick off with what's new today. And we're going to lead with a documentary which is available on Showtime today, The Go-Go's. And this is a thoroughly engaging documentary about the female rock quintet of the same name, examining their emergence from the Los Angeles punk scene in the late 1970s, their shift into energetic pop rock mode after a couple of personnel changes, and their stunning leap to the top of the charts in 1981 with their debut album, Beauty and the Beat. A couple albums later, they would splinter and break up over business and personal issues, and they did reunite for one collection of recordings in 2001, but to this day, they're still the first and only all-woman band to record an album of their own compositions while playing all the instruments themselves and have it reach the #1 slot on Billboard's album charts, and that's indicative of the boundary busting that they did and what they remain to do. And, you know, they're back together. They're on good terms, and this documentary by Allison Elwood takes this very straightforward approach to examining the who, the how, the why of the Go-Go's and their achievements and all the pitfalls, and it covers the reconciliation and even has them, actually putting a new song together. In any event, it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Things I didn't know about them, and I mean, their songs, We Got the Beat, Our Lips Are Sealed, Vacation, those are all pretty potent pop records, and they hold up today. And, you know, I say, yeah, take a little time. If this is something that's of interest to you, they did a terrific job. Elwood has made some serious movies before, including she made a film called American Jihad, and this is a little lighter, and having already done some stuff on the Eagles, she's pretty comfortable with Southern California musicians. I like the Go-Go's, again available on Showtime. As soothing as kind of a warm bath in an old clawfoot bathtub, Summerland is mostly a chance to watch the wonderful UK actress Gemma Arterton hold the camera for most of the length of the film. She was like a Bond girl in Quantum of Solace. She was the title character in the wonderful Tamara Drew, which modernized Thomas Hardy's Far From the Madding Crowd. And if you haven't seen Tamara Drew, I recommend it. And she's also got a major role in the upcoming Kingsman prequel, The Kingsman, but this is more of a drama of sorts. She plays Alice, a reclusive writer in a quaint English seaside town during World War II, and to her displeasure, she discovers that she's been tapped to take in Frank, a young boy who was evacuated from London during the Blitz, while his father, who's a military pilot, and his mother, a government worker, are doing their part in the war effort against the Axis. But Alice wants nothing to do with the kid. She wants to be left alone. She's an academic researching folklore, and unlike her disapproving neighbors in town who welcome all these kid evacuees, she wants someone else to take him in. And then a bond starts to grow between them. I mean, things get a little sentimental and predictable in Summerland, but it's an ideal, warm-hearted diversion at this nasty juncture in history. And you also get Gugu Mbatha Raw in a small but pivotal role. She's wonderful. Veteran British actor Tom Courtenay provides a little gravitas. This was written and directed by Olivier Award winner Jessica Swall. And it's not an award winner, but its kindness and gentility and humanity may be what some of us may need for 90 minutes right now. And again, Arterton is a delight to watch. In terms of new movies, one more thing. By the way, you can see Summerland at a variety of there's select theaters, believe it or not, here and there, but you can stream it at home via Apple TV, Vudu, Google Play, and some of the other usual suspects.
I would not suggest going to a movie theater. Okay.
No, of course not. I'm saying that nonetheless, these people are opening these things in some movie theaters. Finally, in terms of new movies today, The Shadow of Violence, which was originally released in the UK and Ireland as Calm with Horses, which is the title of the literary source material, is a kick-ass mix of crime thriller and interpersonal drama about the travails of a tough ex-boxer named Douglas Armstrong, nicknamed Arm, who falls into the only gig in the area he seems suited to do after his career as a boxer ends, enforcer for the local criminal gang, the drug-dealing Deavers. But Arm is not a killer, and he wants to do the right thing by his estranged girlfriend and their autistic son. The kid needs special needs care, and that costs money. So when the Deavers send Arm on a mission that could cost him his soul, he's facing a moral dilemma and a test of his loyalty. Cosmo Jarvis as Arm is a total revelation. Not familiar with the guy's work, really, but sad-eyed, hulking, conflicted, basically decent despite a short fuse and intellectual shortcomings that may or may not be the product of his career in the ring. Jarvis has the potential to be an international star with a serious bunch of acting chops and a genuine action hero vibe, and the rest of the cast is top shelf, especially Barry Keoghan from Dunkirk and the amazing indie drama Killing of the Sacred Deer, playing Arm's kind of self-centered crony who's a careless lieutenant in the gang, and Ned Dennehy of Peaky Blinders as one of the bosses of the Deavers family. Great work by director Nick Rowland, who brings the tension, the pathos, and the violence in The Shadow of Violence to a powerful climax. Again, there are select theaters showing this. No, stream it at home via Apple TV, Vudu, and Fandango now. Wrapping up stuff that we didn't get to over the past few weeks, Radioactive is a very well-produced period biopic about Marie Curie that reveals crucial moments in her life as kind of a revolutionary anomaly, a female scientist, specifically a physicist and chemist in the 19th century. Polish-born, Parisian-dwelling Madame Curie is played here as sturdy and determined by British actress Rosamund Pike. You may remember her from Gone Girl and Jack Reacher. Curie was under constant pressure despite the love and unwavering support of her husband and fellow scientist Pierre Curie, played by Sam Riley here. But Pierre meets an untimely demise, shattering Marie, leaving their two daughters fatherless, and forcing her to soldier on, and she does. I thought that this was pretty decent stuff, and it goes beyond depicting Marie's career highlights and her tragedies and triumphs. The director, Marjane Satrapi, is the filmmaker who co-created the award-winning animated feature Persepolis, and this jumps forward in time to significant moments that show the effect that Madame Curie's work had on the rest of the world, and that gets a little jumpy, but it contextualizes her contributions to our understanding of how the universe functions. I think it's worth seeing, available on Amazon Prime Video. The rental, it was smart, able people made this movie, and it's pretty much a single locale, low-budget, slow-build thriller, and the rental is considerably better than it might have been in lesser hands. It's a familiar premise set in a modern world of Airbnb and Wi-Fi and digital tech and American xenophobia. Two couples are on a getaway at a lovely seaside home for weekend rentals that turns into one of those claustrophobic horror houses. Not a classic, but it's tight and increasingly disturbing. And the director and co-writer is Dave Franco, brother of actor-filmmaker James Franco, and he does a good job. And the actors playing the couples whose relationship issues bubble to the surface here include Dan Stevens of Downton Abbey and Legion, and Alison Brie of Community. It's okay. It'll divert you, and it's also available on digital and VOD at Vudu and Amazon Prime. Let's move on to something I think you saw, which is The Old Guard, which is about an immortal and soldier who had centuries to master martial arts, and her colleagues, and her mission is to save humanity from itself, or at least save good people from notably bad people. The Old Guard is about that. Immortal warriors who were kind of morally upright mercenaries trying to fight for right. Only, mankind isn't particularly happy to learn from its mistakes, and so these guys are basically on a perpetual mission. And the leaders, played by Charlize Theron, centuries old, still youthful and fit and attractive, and she's starting to deal with what may be a loss of immortality. And Theron, she's been designing herself a side career as an action star, Mad Max Fury Road, Atomic Blonde, and she's good here too. But this is basically popcorn. It's a popcorn movie based on a graphic novel by Greg Rucka. I enjoyed watching it in a B movie way.
I think it's better than you're saying it is. I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, I did too. I'm just saying it's not.
I think it has a good premise, and she's terrific, and the acting is good. The script I like because it goes beyond being an action film. It goes into the whole question of immortality and people questioning their mortality and the negatives of that. So I think it's a far better film than you're kind of portraying it.
I thought it was fun. I'm not denying that. I just felt it kind of, I felt like I've been here before on some level, but I thought it was very well done. And I was entertained. And I was also happy to see Chiwetel Ejiofor playing the CIA operative who's involved in all this, and Matthias Schoenaerts is one of her immortals. They didn't stint. It could have been on the big screen, and it would have been a worthwhile thing to see at a movie theater if we hadn't found ourselves in the current circumstances.
Well, I don't think you would have seen it in the theater because it's a Netflix production. They might have released it to a theater for one reason or another. Usually, they only release the ones to theaters that they want up for Academy Award consideration. This would have probably been just on Netflix.
Well, you know what? It would have worked in a big theater, too. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it would have worked, but I'm saying it was not created for a big theater.
I don't want you to think I'm denigrating it at all by calling it a B movie. I love B action movies. Okay, let's try to wrap this up. Palm Springs is something completely different, and I really enjoyed it immensely. Very funny, warm, clever mix of romantic comedy and fantasy, maybe a little sci-fi. I don't want to, spoil anything, and it does recall Groundhog Day in some ways, but it's a little sweeter and simultaneously more high concept. And it stars Andy Samberg, who is very, very good here, and his co-star is the adorable Broadway movie and TV actress Kristen Milioti. You may recognize her from How I Met Your Mother, Black Mirror, Wolf of Wall Street. She's done some Broadway stuff, but Samberg finally has a movie role that should move his career beyond being the SNL Lazy Sunday dick-in-a-box guy. I mean, he's very good as Niles, a party guy type who's attending a wedding in Palm Springs with his feckless, unfaithful girlfriend, and at the wedding he encounters Sarah, the bride's cynical sister, played by Milioti, and Sarah's not happy to be there, and she shows it, and you get your comedy of discomfort. But by the end of the night, they find out that they're stuck with one another, like it or not, because of an unexpected turn of events. And to complicate matters, J.K. Simmons is on board here as a guy that Niles is apparently pissed off. And the older man seems like someone you shouldn't cross. And underneath all these outrageous antics, the relationship conflicts and the bizarre situation that envelop the two characters, Niles and Sarah, Palm Springs addresses some serious questions, how and why we lead our lives in certain ways. Mm-hmm. What do we owe the people in our lives? And is there a way to transcend isolation, self-imposed or otherwise, and find happiness, which is very relevant right now to those of us who are stuck and isolated. I thought this was a treat, and it's available on Hulu, and I recommend Palm Springs. It's pretty damn cool. Yeah. And, have you seen Greyhound, the Tom Hanks film about World War II?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's okay. It's what you'd expect. And one more quick note, Relic is an okay horror movie about 3 generations of Aussie women confronting an evil force in a kind of remote-ish house, and it's elevated by the presence of Emily Mortimer as one of those women. She's pretty terrific all the time, and I thought it was well done, and it even has sort of a subtext about Alzheimer's disease, which will be kind of sad but moving for some people. What are you watching on TV, pal? What did you think of the Emmy nominations?
I don't even know what they are. I didn't even pay attention to them.
Oh, okay. Just double checking.
Yeah.
I like the fact that What We Do in the Shadows got nominated for a variety of Emmys, mm-hmm. and the final season of Schitt's Creek got nominated for a bunch of Emmys. Other than that, I don't much, give a damn, frankly.
Well, apparently you do, because you just commented on it.
Well, I commented on them because they're out there and it's something that people pay attention to, but I'm not a fan of awards in the arts. Nonetheless, I like shows that I enjoy getting a little bit of love there. So
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, no, I'm just watching like Stargirl and Doom Patrol and.
But the two best DC TV shows are airing now and still have a couple more episodes to go in, I guess, Doom Patrol's second season and Stargirl's first. I'm going to admit something, Bennett. I actually choked up over the last two episodes of
Stargirl's very good. Very good. I think Doom Patrol may be a little soft in its second season. I think it's a bit meandering.
I don't want to spoil anything, but this week's episode featured a parody of the beginning of the famous British spy show, The Avengers, which I found really clever and kind of cute. Not important in terms of advancing the show, but they really are, pop-wise. And, I love the cast. But Stargirl, if you know what it's like to be a single dad, the most recent episode of Stargirl it'll be get out your handkerchiefs time, I think.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's it. Tell them where they can find you, Michael.
I am on Twitter at Culture Blaster and on Facebook at Michael Snyder's Culture Blast page, and you can read my columns in the Marina Times at marinatimes.com.
And the one place you can't find him is in a movie theater. But if you stay where you are, there's more GABNet coming right up, and you can also find him on our GABNet page. Thank you, Michael.
You bet.
And stay tuned for more GABNet coming right up, as I said.